Welcome to Hominid Evolutionary Tales, your gateway to the fascinating world of human evolution, ancient hominids, and prehistoric life. Life 2.3 million years ago. The dawn of tool-making and tribal cooperation. The vultures fall first, dark spirals cutting the noon glare, while the band is already moving, feet thudding over cracked savanna hardpan. A young male clutches a river-rounded hammerstone to his chest. An elder woman keeps pace with a limping gait, one arm steadying a child on her hip. Ahead, dust and flies shimmer over a striped carcass by the river bend. Lions drift away to shade, bellies heavy but eyes reluctant. The hominins close in without a sound, shoulders set, jaws tight. Homo habilis against the open heat, they fan into a practiced arc. One kneels at the zebra's hock, fingers pinching a familiar cobble. Two quick blows, a bright spark of stone against stone, and a flake shells off, razor thin. Another, then another. Older edges born in staccato bursts. A broad-shouldered female wedges a flake under tendon, wrist turning, slicing clean through. The band breathes as one organism, cutting, tearing, loading meat into a folded skin. A juvenile gathers thin ribs. The elder pries free a bone heavy with marrow and taps it with the hammerstone, testing where it will split. Flies thicken. A spotted shadow lopes into view. One hyena, then three, then a chorus. Ears forward, teeth bright. The band tightens, shoulders rising, chest low. The big male lifts both arms, stone heavy in his palm. Another finds a root club. They beat the ground, voiceless thunder. The hyenas hesitate, shocked by the sudden wall of upright, flint-bright defiance. The elder woman cracks the marrow bone with a precise strike, and rich scent leaps into the air. It's bait and invitation both. The hyenas surge. The hominins answer. Stones arc and thud. One hyena yelps, spinning away. Another snaps at a calf muscle and draws a line of red. The injured youth stumbles. The child clings tighter to the elder's rib cage, small feet curling against slick skin. The broad-shouldered female flings the hammerstone. It connects, skull to skull. Opening enough. The band rips the last tendon, yanks the haunch free, and retreats in a tight cluster. Backs to each other, faces outward. Meat lifted high. They move uphill toward basalt teeth jutting from the plain, an old refuge, and a sharp anvil. The cloud shelf to the west has darkened, a bruise spreading across the sky. Hot wind runs ahead of it, rippling yellow grass, ruffling hair on forearms. At the rocks, they settle into work. One cores a cobble with steady strikes, edges multiplying like petals. Another trims flakes into hand-friendly crescents. The injured youth sits apart, leg trembling. The elder comes to him with a handful of bitter-smelling leaves, crushed between palm and thigh until a dark green pulp forms. She presses it to the gash, binding it with a strip of sinew. The youth's fingers relax by degrees. He exhales in small shivers. Thunder lands nearby, flat and near. The river below becomes a moving mirror veiled by rain. The band eats fast. Strips of meat pass from hand to hand, marrow sucked with eyes half closed. The child's mouth rimmed in pale fat. They drink by tilting large leaves to the sky, catching the first fat drops, and pouring them into cupped palms, into open mouths. A lightning fork spears the far grassland. A thin line of flame wakes and begins to walk. A tremor runs through the basalt. Not earth, hoofbeat. A wall of shapes appears at the rain's edge, wildebeest pressed into a frightened mass. Eyes rolling, horns tossing. The grassfire has found the wind. It sprints toward the herd, and the herd explodes toward the rocks. The band scrambles higher, pulling the elder up, pushing the child ahead. Meat skins slapping against stone. The animals split around the basalt like water around a boulder. But the edges of the herd catch the lower slope, One male nearly slips. Two grip his forearms and heaves him upward. A wildebeest misses by a hand's breadth, its horn raking the cliff face and snapping like dry wood. When the thunder passes, new sound replaces it. The cough of a saber-tooth, deep and dreadful. It stands at the foot of the climb, pale eyes ignoring the last stragglers of the herd, fixed instead on the tight knot of primates carrying meat and marrow, and a wounded one who cannot run. The cat tests the slope with a massive paw. The band presses together, silent, shoulders touching. The big male lifts another stone. The broad-shouldered female places the marrow bone in the child's arms and turns toward the cat, measuring distances, studying the edges and ledges like another kind of tool. A movement to the right, humans, but not theirs. Another band, 6 figures. Lean, wary, rivals. 2 carry wooden staves, polished by grip. Their eyes flick from the meat to the child, to the saber-tooth, and back. No voice crosses the wet air, only wind and the cat's patient breath. A choice tightens like a knot around the hominin's ribs. Keep the meat, keep the marrow, fight both tooth and kin, or give ground and lose the feast that stands between hunger and weakness. The elder lifts the meat skin and holds it out, arms trembling from the climb. The rivals hesitate. Then one steps forward, palm raised, empty. The exchange is quick and precise. A haunch for 2 long staves, and a river cobble of rare fine-grained stone, perfect for edges that last. Hands brush, eyes hold. No word seals it, only the shared understanding that living is the only measure that matters. The saber-tooth climbs. The climactic struggle rises like the storm before it. Stones whistle past the cat's whiskers. One clips its shoulder, another smashes the rock near its forepaw. The rivals, now above and to the side, hammer their staves against the basalt, sending sound and shock through stone and air. The broad-shouldered female gathers a cluster of sharp flakes in one hand, and, with the other, hurls the emptied marrow bone to the slope below. It lands wet and rich. The cat stops, nostrils wide. Hunger pulls it down a step. Another flake bites its nose. It snarls, presses up, then catches the marrow scent again. The band holds still, breath caged, as the cat's focus tips and falls. It descends one more step, then another, to tuck its muzzle into the open bone and drag it away across the scree. Rain lifts, smoke smears the horizon. The rivals melt into the rocks and away, each group carrying what it values. One with meat to quiet the night, the other with tools to open tomorrow. The band shifts as a single body, relief washing over them in small touches. The elder's hand on the youth's shoulder, the child's cheek against the broad-shouldered female's collarbone. They climb higher to a narrow cave the basalt protects. Inside, walls shine with old soot smears. Not theirs, but left by lightning-lit nights, when branches burned nearby, and wind drove heat inward. They settle into a circle, backs to stone, faces to one another. The fine cobble, the gift from the rivals, passes from hand to hand. Each feels its weight, its promise. The elder taps it with a hammerstone, ears tilting to the note, then holds it to the child. Small fingers curl around it. The broad-shouldered female kneels beside a flat rock and raises her hammer. One measured blow, then another, then the subtle turn that coaxes the next thin flake into being. She places the newborn edge in the child's palm. The child touches its brightness with reverence, born of hunger and memory. Outside, the savanna breathes again. Steam rises from the blackened grass. Insects test the air. Far-off hyenas laugh at secrets they do not keep. The injured youth dozes as the herb poultice darkens and dries. The elder drips captured rainwater from a folded leaf into his open mouth, then into her own, then into the child's. Hands move quietly, dividing what remains. Meat fibers teased apart and shared. Marrow scraped from a smaller bone and offered to the youngest. Sinew twisted into cords to bind tomorrow's edges. Night approaches without haste. In its cool, the cave tightens into a hearth of bodies. The new cobble rests between the child's feet. The sharpest flake glows pale in the fading light. The band's rhythm slows. Breath to breath, pulse to pulse. They have chosen trade over pride, distraction over death, the making of edges over the keeping of a single meal. On the rim of sleep, the broad-shouldered female lifts the child's hand and guides it in the memory of strikes, angle, pressure, release. Beyond the basalt, the scorched plain promises green shoots when rain returns. Within the cave, bone and stone and skin have become story. It will be told tomorrow, and the next tomorrow, without words. In the way a hand finds an edge, in the way a circle tightens when a shadow moves, in the way food is passed inward to the smallest first. Here, at 2.3 million years, toolmaking and tribal cooperation are not ideas. They are the pulse that carries the band into morning, the quiet dawn of a future none can name and every hand can feel. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Hominid Evolutionary Tales for more amazing videos about the origins of humanity and the wonders of our ancient past.